So I get to talking to this lady, and she's like, yeah, Cooper, this little dog, he's been coming up over here. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And we kind of figure out the timeline. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I'll try to be more on top of it so she doesn't dig through. And she's like, it's fine. I was like, she's not going to hurt anybody. So she's like, yeah, and, the neighbor who has lived here the longest, she just died 3 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, man, that's so sad. She's like, yeah, she'd lived here the longest. She'd lived here for 24 years, yada, yada. And I was like, interesting. You know exactly how long your neighbors have been living there. So we kept on talking. And she's like, have you met Judith? And I was like, oh, I did meet Judith. Judith has the peach tree that broke a limb into our yard. And then Judith was kind enough to come to the house and say, hey, my guy's coming to clean up the branches. Do you want me to pull the branch out of your yard? And I was like, no, we'll do it when we do our fall cleaning. So she's like, yeah, Judith's the new neighbor. She's only been here 10 years. I was like, y'all got a whole ranking system over there, don't you? She kind of laughs about it. And she's like, yeah, I've been here second longest, but she took the time to reiterate again that Anne, who had lived there the longest, had died. So she said, I'd lived here the second longest, but Anne just died. So now I live here. I've been here the longest. And I was like, then it all came together. I was like, she killed Anne.
To take the title.
To be number one in the neighborhood. She killed Anne. Now, the police don't obviously know that yet, but maybe an anonymous tip.